ever seen a business owner post something online and immediately you was like, I would never do business with them. I would never hire them. Not because they weren't talented, not because they weren't good at what they do, but simply because you saw something they posted online. So today we're talking about the difference between authenticity and oversharing. I'm giving you a simple 3-question filter that can save your brand from accidentally pushing potential customers away. So welcome back to Tea with D, Entrepreneurship Unfiltered. Grab your tea, get comfortable, and let's get into it. But before we do, today's message is: one thorn of experience is worth a whole wilderness of warning, which is perfect for today's video. I think one of the biggest problems in online businesses right now is that we've confused authenticity with accessibility. We've been told for years that people buy from people. Show your personality, be relatable, let people see the real you, and I agree with all of that. But somewhere along the way, authenticity got translated into sharing everything, every frustration, every bad experience, every emotional moment, every struggle while it's happening. And I don't think that's helping entrepreneurs the way they think it is. Let me explain. Imagine you're looking for a hairstylist, right? You never met them before, so naturally you go to their Instagram, their threads, their TikTok. One post is about how difficult clients are. The next is how overwhelmed they are. The next is about all their people asking too many questions. How confident would you feel sitting in their chair? Exactly, probably not. Now let's switch industries. Maybe you're looking for a coach, a designer, a photographer, a consultant. The same thing applies. Before people buy from us, they're looking for clues. They're asking themselves, can I trust this person? Does this person seem professional, stable? Does it seem like it's someone that can actually help me solve my problem? Let me give some recent examples of what I saw on threads and Instagram as of recently. So this first one says, I fund my own business. My prices are my prices. That's the post. Bye. I don't do no arguing, heckling, none of that. All I'm doing is providing top tier tumblers. And the thing is, on this post at the top, it said suggested for you. I don't know why they suggested it for me, probably to talk about it today. But just imagine me being a potential customer, so many other potential customers who saw this post and didn't only see this initial entrepreneur talking like this, but also all of the fellow entrepreneurs in the comments that was agreeing. Why would I ever want to do business with any of them? Another example is someone said, beginning today, my hat prices will start at $500 with a required deposit of $200. Because the more I talk to individuals who make more money has made me aware of the significant difference between the earnings and mine, encouraging me to strive for more. I can't keep having a poverty mindset and living in the hood when I'm trying to make it out of it. And if you can't respect, you are not my target audience, and I'm okay with that. Okay. Another one said, my blow dryer alone costs $250. So when you ask why I charge what I charge, there's your answer. And I also saw an entrepreneur, they were like an owner of a coffee shop, and they made a post about how customers come in and they complain about the cost of coffee, yet they're walking in with designer purses and shoes. So I don't really know the correlation between those, but just imagine all of the first time impressions, especially with how the algorithm works today, where a lot of your own followers may not even see your content, but your content may be being pushed to new followers. You have to use social media as is everybody's first time ever being introduced to you. Now, before you start typing in the comments, no, I'm not saying you need to pretend everything is perfect. I'm not saying you need to become a robot. And I'm definitely not saying you can't talk about challenges. Some of my favorite creators are people who are incredibly transparent, from Super Scent to Judy to Emma Green to Jackie Aina. The difference is they know how to share in a way that creates connection instead of concern. That's the key. Authenticity is not emotional dumping, and it is definitely not trauma dumping. Authenticity is sharing your real experiences, your perspectives, your values, and lessons. I've done this myself as a web designer experiencing burnout, not having systems and not setting boundaries. Today, I use that same experience and the lessons that came behind it to teach people what took me 2 years to overcome. It's letting people connect with the human behind the business, yes, showing the behind the scenes, talking about challenges after you've had time to process them. It's sharing what you learned, but not simply what you're feeling in the moment. We are human beings. We do lead with emotions. We're expected to. But your audience isn't looking for perfection, they are looking for confidence. Many of my prior clients still respect me, still reach out to me today. But just imagine if I would have jumped online in those moments of feeling drained, of feeling exhausted, of feeling like I was ready to quit. Those relationships would have burned to the ground. Like they would have been like, how can I trust this person now, right? So how do you know whether something belongs online? Let's talk about the 3 questions that you can filter. And honestly, if more entrepreneurs use this, social media will look very different. So question number 1, you have to ask yourself, does it serve my audience or does it serve my emotions? Believe me, I've been there, but sometimes the thing that needs your attention isn't Instagram, isn't TikTok. It's your journal, your best friend, a walk around the block, sometimes therapy. Processing the situation before making it public. If you're posting primarily because you need an emotional release, baby, that may be a sign to hit pause before hitting publish. Listen, we've all had moments where we want to jump online and say exactly what was on our mind. Now, question number 2. If a potential client saw this for the first time, would they feel more confident or less confident about working with you? The question is so powerful because it forces us to step outside of ourselves and look at our content through someone else's eyes. So you have to ask yourself, will they see professionalism? Will they see leadership? Will they see someone that they can actually trust their money with? Or would they walk away feeling uncertain? Confidence builds conversation. Confusion never has. Now, question number 3, what I want you to ask yourself. Are you sharing this from a place of resolution or are you still living through it? This one changed everything for me, right? Not every challenge needs to become content immediately. Sometimes the lesson isn't ready yet. You haven't even learned it. You're still going through it. Sometimes you need space. Sometimes you need perspective. And often the most impactful stories are the ones we share after we're on the other side of it, right? Because now in those cases, we have wisdom attached to the experience. Now in those cases, your audience can learn from what happened instead of simply witnessing, right? And witnessing you spiraling and just chaos. So let's talk about what you can share. Behind the scenes of your work, the lessons you've learned, the opinions about your industry. Not down talking your industry now though. Share your values, some personal moments that help people understand who you are. Share your wins. Share your wins. I see so many people talking about their downfalls, their trials, but share those wins. Too many entrepreneurs are afraid talking about success because they don't want to seem boastful. And I'm not necessarily talking about post the house that you were able to buy, post the car that you were able to buy, but your audience needs to also see what's possible. They need an example of what growth looks like. They need evidence that what you're actually teaching and selling actually works. At the end of the day, social media is one of the most powerful trust building tools available to your business. And every post is either strengthening that trust or weakening it. It can either make your business or break it. You don't need to hide who you are. You don't need to become overly polished. You definitely don't need to be perfect. But your audience doesn't need access to every chapter of the story to trust you. They just need enough of the right chapters to understand who you are, what you stand for, and why you're the right person to help them. So before you post your next piece of content, try those 3 questions and see what changes. And now I want to hear from you, right? What is something you've seen online that instantly gave you the ick? But what is also something that made you trust a business more? Drop it in the comments because I think this is a conversation more entrepreneurs need to have. So if you're building a business that you want to look professional, you want it to attract the right clients and keep the right clients and actually support the life you're trying to create, make sure you subscribe. Every week, we're having real conversations about entrepreneurship, visibility, systems, and building a business around the life you dream of. Not the other way around, because sometimes that does lead to burnout. So if you want the deeper conversation that doesn't always make it to YouTube, make sure you join my email community using the link below. Thank you so much for spending part of your day with me, and I'll see you in the next episode of Tea with D.